My name's Lee Cloncher. I'm the founder and publisher at Octane Press. I'm an author and a photographer, and my company publishes my own work as well as that of others. I'm here today in the Texas Hill Country to talk about why I founded my company. I grew up in rural Wisconsin in a small town not unlike this Texas Hill Country setting. I grew up a book-crazy kid, and I also loved the outdoors and motorcycles. I spent a lot of my time running around rural Wisconsin, exploring the roads on a junky old motorcycle. That eventually led to me going to the University of Minnesota and studying journalism. And while I was there, I really was able to kind of put the pieces of the things I really liked together. I had a real love of science, I had a real love of telling stories, and a real love of journalism. And there I became a science journalist in college, and then afterwards I learned how to tell stories about vehicles. So I really found a space that worked for me. I spent about 15 years working in the book industry. I was an editor at a company that published books about machines. And I also was a pretty active freelancer. I shot photos and told stories for magazines and in books. In 2002, my whole world kind of changed. I was in Baja, California, on assignment for Dirt Rider magazine, riding dual sport motorcycles across the trails and back roads of Baja. After a very long day where we got lost in a kind of trackless portion of Baja and ended up coming across the continent and down into Laredo about 10 o'clock at night, something happened to me. We came over the top of the mountain crest, and there's these big, beautiful old mountains in that spot, and we saw the Sea of Cortez was lit up in the last light of the day. It was absolutely gorgeous, and I really felt like I was in a place where I belonged, a place where I really wanted to be. And the next day I was riding down the road in Baja, and I decided I'd spend the rest of my life out telling stories with my camera and a pencil. So I spent 5 years building my freelance business. In 2006, I was able to quit my job and freelance full-time. That started a very fulfilling period where I traveled 5 continents in several years. I was able to go to the Australian outback, go to the Bolivian Amazon, and shoot and tell stories. It was great. So in October of 2010, I founded Octane Press. The basic principle was that we would make books for core enthusiasts. So we gave them super detailed information. We gave them rare photographs of the best machines in the business, and we interviewed the people, the engineers, the designers who were involved in the machines, and told the machine story in a way that it hadn't been done before. The results have been great. We've sold enough books to stay in business, and we've also won major book awards every year since 2012, something I take tremendous personal pride in. The most important thing to me about Octane Press is being independent and being able to tell stories in the way I want to tell them, in books, in calendars, and on our blog. I think my time spent in places like Baja and Bolivia, where you're on your own, you're self-supported, and if something goes wrong, you need to find a way to solve it. I think that gave me a self-reliance that helped me tremendously in building a company. I also think that's pretty valuable to be in books right now, because books is kind of the wild west of publishing these days, and there is no real easy path to success. You have to find it. I also think that growing up in Wisconsin, with my parents being teachers and surrounded by farmers, I learned very early the value of hard work, and I think anything valuable or worthwhile that we've accomplished at Octane Press has either been my own work or others around me that has made that happen. I'm Lee Cloncher, and my company is Octane Press.